Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Farzy Show. My name's Marc Farzetta. Here's what I'm not going to do. Well, first, I'm going to tell you that you're in the Steven Singer Studios. How about that? I'm not going to start with Flower Boy. Not going to do that because I don't believe in breeding negativity. Oh, no, not even a little bit. I don't believe in breeding negativity. You know what I believe in? I believe in positivity. That's what I believe. I believe in good vibes. So how about them Flyers getting a win last night? And Caplan getting the goal in there to get them on the board, getting that going. Cam Atkinson, goal. Cam Atkinson, goal. I what did I tell you? I told you that I wanted this guy to be aggressive. I wanted to go to the net. I want Cam Atkinson, that when he gets the puck on his stick in a game, I just want him to forget that he even has teammates. I want him to be the most selfish player we have ever seen play any sport ever in Philadelphia. Like, that's what I would tell Cam Atkinson. Look, all those other things you did well throughout your career, you could just stop that. Just focus on this one thing. Just focus on this one thing. Scoring goals. That's all I want you to do. That's it. I don't want anybody else here with that like cutesy last pass type of mentality. I want somebody simply going after the net every single time. And that's exactly what Cam Atkinson did last night. Flyers get the nice win, score 5 goals in the victory. You love to see it. So, Flyers, there you go, baby. Way to beat the Edmonton Oilers. We love to see it. One of the things I did think was interesting, the TNT broadcast it just blows my mind. I'm like, are they doing too much on the broadcast for TNT and NHL hockey? Are they doing too much? Yeah, I just feel like they kind of water down hockey pretty bad. But that doesn't say that I don't. I'm talking about the graphics that they put up on the screen. Also, the one thing I do really like is the power play clock on the ice, which makes me feel kind of like when Fox had the NHL for like 20 minutes in the 90s. They did all sorts of stuff on it. They put a highlight on the puck so that there was literally, for those that don't know, for all the kids, the young guys and ladies, they had the puck, and then they put this really weird blue smoky whatever the hell it was around the puck so that you could follow it. And as you're following it, if there was a slap shot or if the puck went above a certain amount of miles per hour, this is what they did to bring in hockey. Oh, I have a perfect example right here. Okay, here we go. So you see this little circle right here? Imagine this is the puck, and they have this like little blue thing around it, and it's like, oh, it's easy to find now. And then when it would shoot, there'd be this little like comet tail behind it. And I'm like, we're one step away from that when I watch TNT. We're one step away from watching that. And me and other hockey fans would be watching it being like, we don't need this. We don't need this. And then I talked to my older relatives that were like, I can't see the puck ever. So I love that thing. And I'm like, all right, well, there you go. But anyway, Flyers get the win. Love to see that. Way to be. So Nick Sirianni, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say I'm out. I feel like I've been saying that, but I just want to officially tell you, this guy ain't it. What do we say? You ain't that guy. You're not that guy. You're not that guy, bro. Nick Sirianni, you're not that guy. I don't fault you. I'm no longer going to heap negativity upon you. I am going to, every time you make a mistake, I'm going to turn. What do you do with a kid that doesn't know any better? You turn to the parents and you go, what the hell's the matter with you? You raised this kid. What's the matter with you? Although it's a little bit different because, sometimes you just can't control your kids. You didn't create their personality per se. They're their own person. But if you're going to hire them, I would certainly hope you would know their strengths and their weaknesses. And I am going to make a decree that Jason Kelce, from this point on, is the only Philadelphia Eagle that should be allowed to address the media. And you know how much I love Jalen Hurts. No. The only person that's allowed to talk to us from now on is Jason Kelce. Nobody else is allowed to talk to us. Now, if you haven't heard it yet, I have it for you. If you have only seen the GIFs, if you've only seen the memes, if you've only seen the brief video of Nick Sirianni and his little flower analogy, I got the goods for you, baby. That's coming up. We also have Nick talking about trying to correct the mistakes. We have a Trust the Process dropped yesterday. Oh, somebody said that. That's fun. We're going to get into that. We will let you hear from Jason Kelce. And I couldn't pinpoint it until right before the show who Nick Sirianni reminded me of yesterday. Just looks-wise. Looks-wise, I can't tell you. I was trying to put my finger on it, and I was talking to PJ. I was talking to old producer Jim about it, and he's a Star Wars guy, as you would assume, because, he's a film guy. He's a producer guy. So Star Wars has to happen. And this is who it was. We'll show you in a second. But first, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk to the old flower boy, Nicky, who loves ball, man. And he was asked yesterday about his message to the team and how he keeps the team from having the wheels come off this wagon going forward. Nick Sirianni.
You know, the results aren't there right now, but what's going on here is that there's growth under the soil. I put a picture of a flower up, right, and that it's coming through the ground, and the roots are growing out, and the roots are continuing to grow out, and everybody wants to see results. Shoot, nobody wants to see results more than us, right? We want to see results too, but it's really important that the foundation is being built and that the roots are growing out. And the only way the roots grow out every single day and they grow stronger and they grow better is if that we all water, we all fertilize, we all do our part. Each individual coach, each individual player, everybody in the building, that we do our part to water to make sure that when it does pop out, it really pops out and it grows. And so that was my message today.
How did this guy get this job? How did this happen? Like, you're talking about loving ball, right? You're talking about all that stuff when you come in here. That's great. Good. You should love ball if you're going to do it professionally. All right. I hope you really love ball. But you mean to tell me this guy's showing flowers to a room full of football players who are 2-5 on the season? Like, I was thinking about this. Like, I've said this many times before. But anytime I enter an argument or I'm about to bring up something, the thought process that goes into the show and my opinions and all that stuff, I'll have like my knee-jerk reaction. And then I'll be like, well, all right, I'll have further analysis. I'll be like, all right, is that true? Is that not true? Is that just how I feel? Am I an idiot? And then I jump to, okay, just act like no matter how right you think you are, why are you wrong? Like, why are you wrong? And I'm thinking, all right, you know what? This is so insane to bring up this analogy of like watering flowers and fertilizing flowers in front of all these football players that are 2-5, and they know that's the thing they want to know about is a bunch of pansies. So, you go into that locker room and you're like, all right, I'm going to make this analogy where you don't see you don't see the work and you don't see all that stuff. You see only what's at the very top. So what analogy am I going to go with? Tip of the iceberg. I'll go tip of the iceberg. No, I don't want to go tip of the iceberg. No, I don't want to do that. No, it might be too soon. Offend people on the Titanic. Don't want to do that. What do I want to do next? Okay, you can't do that. What do I want to do? Not going to do tip of the iceberg. I'll do a tree. A nice, strong oak tree, like a manly tree. That's what I'll do, and I'll get there. No, don't want to do that. Don't want to go after trees. People will be yelling at me about trees. Don't want to do that. I got it. This room full of football players, room full of, like, in a lot of instances, toxic masculinity. I'll go flowers. That's what I'll do. I'll talk about fertilizer. I'll talk about watering the flowers, and I'll talk about how everyone, hey, look, guys, this is where we are. We're down here. We got the roots going, right? We got the roots going, and then we're gonna bud in this beautiful little flower, and we're gonna be little flowers. We're gonna be little flowers running around the NFL, beating up on teams. That'll be fun, being a flower, right, guys? Yeah. Nick Sirianni, I wish you all the luck in the world, man. You know what? You had an opportunity to get the job of your life, man, be a head coach in the NFL. Congratulations. Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, how? And before any flower comments, I mean, Monday, I came on the show and I said, this guy ain't it. It's as simple as that. How did he sit across from yous two, and you both look at him and go, yeah, this is it. Yeah. Tell me the one about the flowers again. Go ahead, Nick, tell me about the flowers. Yeah, this is great. Howard, listen to this one. That guy sat across from you, and you went, this is the guy. He ain't the guy. I hope he never coaches a game for the Eagles again. I hope he's done. It's not happening. I don't think he's certainly not going to get fired before the end of the year. He's probably going to be back next year, because God forbid they admit a mistake immediately and go, no, we got to get out of here. I know that Nick Sirianni makes Howie and Jeffrey Lurie feel cozy, feel like they own the team, most notably Jeffrey Lurie. Howie Roseman, the same thing. He can still do whatever the hell he wants to do. What's Nick Sirianni going to do? Push back? Yeah, okay. All right, you want to be a head coach? Yeah, you'll listen to me. How is this guy better than Doug Peterson? How is firing Doug Peterson a better idea than what they had? Like, you already got rid of the headache in Carson Wentz, and I wish him all the luck in the world. The Eagles probably get that first round pick from the Colts. Great. I'd much rather have Doug Peterson than Nick Sirianni, and I think that speaks for the entire Philadelphia Eagles fan base. And I think anybody who knows a damn thing about football would look at this and go, why is Doug not here anymore? Oh, did he get too powerful? Oh, did he have too much of an opinion as a head coach of your football team? This is ridiculous. This is a joke. I'll go back to my main point yesterday, which was this. There's going to be somebody that comes out behind the curtain, right? And goes, you guys thought this guy was the head coach? That's hilarious. That's not the guy. All right. Like, seriously, if somebody would have interrupted the flower budding analogy, whatever the hell that was, and said, all right, that prank's on you guys. This guy's not our coach. I would be like, oh, thank God. You guys really had us going with the 2-5 record. Oh, geez. Oh, you guys, that's a point for you there, guys. But wait, there's more. Now, he doesn't necessarily go down the road of, well, he does go down the road of more analogies, but it's all around the same flower. It's a whole garden of metaphors. So Nick Sirianni yesterday was asked about correcting the mistakes, and here's what he had to say about that.
Of course, yeah, you're always tested because when you're 2-5, it's easy. I think human nature says to you is like, are you doing the right things? Are you doing the right things? Well, the last 15 years of my coaching career, the last 30 years of my life of being on football teams and being around football teams, that didn't all change. So of course you're being tested because I'll do anything to put our team in position to win a game. And so there is things that obviously that we change, but the things I know are true, I'm not changing. I'm not changing because I know in the long run, if you continue to nurture those things, water those things, fertilize those things, the roots grow stronger, and at some point it will break through.
There you go. Double down, whatever you want to call it. The roots will break through at some point, right? I'll do anything except continue to run the football. Other than that, no, pretty much anything. By the way, just if you see him, just look at him one more time, and we're not going to pay attention to what he's saying.
Of course, yeah, you're always.
You see what he was wearing there? I was trying to pinpoint exactly what he looked like, and I think this is it. I think that's what he was wearing yesterday. Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi. Right, Jim? Return of the Jedi? That's what it is. I think so. Yeah. He's got the Princess Leia thing going on there. That's pretty right? There you go. So that was the Eagles head coach yesterday. For now, Nick Sirianni. This is like, I can't take this serious anymore. And look, I gave him a chance. I didn't set the world on fire after that introductory press conference. I said, okay, I'm not going to do the thing that everyone else is probably going to do, which is just jump to the conclusion that guy right there is not going to stand on the sideline and make the best decisions. That guy right there isn't going to put his foot down when it comes to upper management. That guy right there is probably not going to be the guy in the locker room to rally the troops if there's a real, stuff really starts to hit the fan. And I am beyond there now. I've watched him coach 7 games. I've watched him win 2 of those 7 games. I have watched him have success in certain areas, like running the football against the Vegas Raiders. And then ignore it. I've watched him, completely ignore the run throughout games when you see your quarterback struggling and not getting in that rhythm and having young guys on the offensive line and not willing to help them out. I've seen all that, and I'm out. This guy ain't it. Like usually you hire someone to go, oh, I can see we can win a Super Bowl with this guy. Okay. I don't see the Eagles making the playoffs with this guy. I certainly don't see them winning a playoff game with this guy. I don't see the franchise. I don't see the organization growing and improving under Nick Sirianni. So why is he here? I firmly believe this. And I know it's always top shelf to say, fire the coach. I'm not a fire the coach guy. I was one of the last people to come around on like Brett Brown even. This is beyond dumb to me. And I'm almost expecting there to be some kind of practical joke happening. Like, are the Impractical Jokers guys behind the curtain somewhere? Just be like, Nick, say the thing about the flowers. I feel like in moments like this, where you feel like your team is just so bad and you feel like they're not doing anything to correct it. In moments like this, I feel like our team is held hostage. And if there's really nothing we can do about it. Like, I know Eagles fans are never going to not go to a game. I know they're never going to not buy jerseys and merchandise and all that. But I look at a guy like Zach Ertz and I go, hey, man, congratulations on getting the hell out of here, brother. Congratulations, because this is a dumpster fire in the making. By the way, I didn't even say it yet. Here I am, 18 minutes into the show. Adam Kaplan joins us today from Inside the Birds podcast. My man, Pots and Pads, Adam Kaplan. Really enjoy all of the conversations I have with Adam. We cover the bases when it comes to the Eagles, the trade deadline, and how who they're going to sell next and all that stuff. So we'll get into that as the show goes on. Adam Kaplan coming up in just a second. I also wanted to make sure you guys heard not just my take on what the coach had to say, but the people that actually matter, the people in the locker room who the message was directed at. Here is your quarterback, Jalen Hurts, on the meeting with coach and what his message was.
Tell us about it.
I just think coach, he voiced himself, he voiced his opinion. He felt like we were at, and I think we all believe that. I believe that, we just want to build, you know what I'm saying? It's time. Why now? Why not now? Why not now? For us as a football team, why not go take that step? We've been urging to take. Why not? Why not do it now? So I believe it. I believe we have everything here we need. It's the simple things, just putting it together and going out there and doing it.
Wherever Jalen Hurts winds up, I don't think he'll be here for the franchise, the franchise quarterback going forward and all that stuff. But I'll tell you right now, he has a fan in me. I am a huge fan of Jalen Hurts, and I wish him nothing but success throughout his career. I hope that he is the guy here for 15 years, whatever, and he's the franchise guy moving forward. I just don't see it happening. I think this franchise is still very much in that transitional year, and I don't think they look at Jalen Hurts and go, oh, yeah, no, this is the guy. I'm glad that that's how he handled it, because Jalen Hurts is kind of in a similar situation to Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is just playing for his next job, pretty much, or coaching for his next job and wanting to keep this job as long as he possibly can. Jalen Hurts wants to be a starting quarterback in the NFL for as long as he possibly can. And right now, while he's with Philadelphia, he knows he just has to put good stuff on film, and he has to make sure that whenever he gets an opportunity elsewhere, he can step up and make sure he can deliver for that other team. But one thing he's definitely not going to do, because he knows it's not going to be a good year, so he's not going to have some great quarterback record after this season. So he at least knows that he has to go into any situation with not just putting good things on film, but not being the guy that's going to upset the apple cart as the season goes on. Oh, I like that Jalen Hurts. He's got talent. I think we can coach him up. Seems like he's got a bad attitude, though. I don't know if I want that in my organization. This guy has a great attitude, phenomenal attitude. And even if you go back to his days at Alabama or Oklahoma and you watch interviews with him, this is the mentality and the mindset of this guy. And how do you not root for that? I'm pulling for Jalen Hurts through and through. And I love that that's how he tried to back up his coach and just say, why not now? Love all that. But to answer the question, why not now? It's because what's been happening throughout this season, what has happened, can predict what's going to happen in the future. Or, as they'll say on Sunday, now against the Lions. Not that good. Just removing Nick Sirianni, just focusing on the performance from Jalen Hurts. All of a sudden, he hasn't been phenomenal this year. No, go through all the other just talking about his own performance. There's throws that he hasn't made, and I know a lot of young quarterbacks are going to miss these throws, but what you got to keep in mind with Jalen Hurts is that he is on a ridiculously short leash. Like, Jalen Hurts doesn't even have a leash when it comes to that analogy of being on a short leash. What jumped to my mind was like that somebody knocks at your door all of a sudden and your dog goes crazy, and you don't get the leash and put it on him and hold him back, or her. You hold by the collar. There's not even a leash. That's where the Eagles have Jalen Hurts right now. That's what. There's no room for error. There's no room for mistakes. He has to be phenomenal if he even wants a shot at being the franchise quarterback going forward. And that's just unfair. That's unfair criticism from an organization to be watching him that closely like a hawk to see if he can be your franchise guy moving forward. And I said at the start of the year, and I'm saying it now, to compete against the free agent class of next year, or to compete against the draft, compete against what you could do with 3 first-round draft picks, which is like anybody who's at all discontent wherever they might be, Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, Russell Wilson in Seattle, whoever it might be around the NFL. Oh, hey, guys, we got 3 first-round picks. What are you going to give us? Oh, you're going to give us Russell Wilson? You're going to give us Aaron Rodgers? All right, see you, Jalen Hurts. That's what you're competing against. So, of course, any missed throw is going to be super scrutinized. And that's what Jalen Hurts has to go through this year. Brace yourself. It's coming. Trust the process. Boom.
You can't be result oriented. You know what I'm saying? You have to trust the process. And sometimes, you have so many different things that go on where they're trying to take you off of what the main thing is. Keep the main thing and just work, get better every day. It'll turn over. And I believe that.
I don't know how to not be results oriented. I think that's what you're that's what you do. I think if you say you're not results oriented, you're obviously acknowledging you're going through a growing process, and you're obviously going through something that is not really to be on the same level as maybe other teams that are actually competing to win a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, the only thing he can be focused on is results, because that's what his career is going to be based on. If you don't get results, you're not going to be the guy. Here's what I know. Nick Sirianni, definitely not that guy. Jalen Hurts, maybe the guy. Not here, but a starting quarterback for another NFL franchise? Possibly. This year? Yes, absolutely. But we'll get into this with Adam Kaplan as well when it comes to what you can expect from this team going forward and what you can expect from the Gardner Minshew active roster with Joe Flacco being traded to the Jets. This is what you can expect from Gardner Minshew. We'll get into that and what it will really take for Gardner Minshew to start threatening to take snaps or reps from Jalen Hurts in practice. So we'll get to that with Adam Kaplan coming up in just a second. But right now, I want to tell you about my good friend Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. Steven Singer, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right in Philadelphia, takes care of you every day with the perfect price. Some other stores, they do the discounts, they do the sales, the promo codes. Oh, make sure you have this promo code DIAMONDS. Yeah, no. Promo code is hi, hello, how are you? That's the promo code. You walk in and you get taken care of, like your family, by a real jeweler, a real jewelry expert at Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut. And you hear it all the time. I always tell you that people call me, hey, you're in Philly? I just landed. I just saw this sign. I hate Steven Singer. Who is Steven Singer? And I go, he's the best jeweler you could ever know. He's a great guy, and he loves taking care of people. Almost 40 years ago, he said to himself, you know what? I just want to get in the love business. Open up his jewelry shop, and that's what he's done ever since. Taking care of people with his love business. Diamond engagement rings. Ready for love diamond engagement rings. Tennis bracelets, necklaces, diamond stud earrings. Everything you need right there at Steven Singer Jewelers. People say, I hate Steven Singer. You know why? Because that's other jewelers speaking. The other jewelers, they'll mark things way up just to mark it down in front of you, make you feel like you're getting some kind of deal. But at Steven Singer, they got the perfect price every single time. So you don't got to worry about those promo codes. You don't got to worry about those discounts. The discount's already there. It's beautiful. You don't have to worry about haggling, negotiating. You can sit down, feel comfortable, feel cozy as you make a big decision as to what engagement ring you want to buy or a special gift for that special someone in your life. Do what I do what I've done for the last 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, which is trust Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. All right, coming up. We're going to talk to Adam Kaplan, get all the latest on the Eagles. Adam, as you would assume, would give us a little Ben Simmons conversation as well. Also, I want to get into this. We'll revisit some of the stuff from Ben Simmons. Hey, I know what you guys are thinking. There's no way you could think that was something inappropriate. You sick-minded people. Looking at used people in the chat. Anyway, so we'll get into that coming up in a minute. And also the new stuff that's come out regarding Ben Simmons. We'll get to that as well. We'll also hear from Jason Kelce on a couple of things. One, buying into Nick Sirianni and whether or not people are buying into this coaching staff. And also he explains why he got so pissed off against the Raiders during that little helmet off thing that happened. So we'll talk about that in a second. But right now, let's jump on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line and talk to our good friend Adam Kaplan from Inside the Birds podcast. Now the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line, our good friend from Inside the Birds, along with Jeff Mosher, Adam Kaplan. New episode just dropped yesterday at the time we taped this. Adam, what's going on, brother?
Good to talk to you. And today, which is Thursday, I guess, a Q&A. Quentin Michael and Jason Avant dropped their show, which is a blockbuster, an hour and a half. My goodness gracious. They got a lot to say, and I can't wait to hear it. So you can hear us, me and Jeff, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Q&A, Thursday, and our pregame show for every Eagles game. Always the same 10A to 12P on every platform, Twitter. We've got it on Facebook, and we've got it on YouTube Live. So look forward to doing that.
Absolutely. You guys do a great job. You cover all the bases, as they say. I gotta tell you right out of the gate here, Adam, I'm at a loss. And it's really difficult to make me at a loss, especially when it comes to words. I don't know what to do with this Nick Sirianni. We're growing flowers now.
Yeah.
Practices were more important than games in the preseason. Like, I don't know what to make of this anymore other than this guy can't be it. What are you guys right now on Inside the Birds podcast making of this whole Nick Sirianni deal?
He's struggling. The defense coordinator's struggling. They both happen to call the plays. So it's the trials and tribulations of a new coaching staff. They're going through growing pains. Jeff and I have been very critical. I'm not going to hide from it. I've been very critical of the play calling on both sides of the football, but I can't say I'm surprised that there's some struggles. I think the biggest thing that I think where they made a mistake, particularly the head coach, is not having a senior offensive assistant and senior defensive assistant where John Gannon, the defense coordinator, could sort of rely on someone for help who's called plays before, and at the NFL level, by the way, and then where Shane Steichen, yes, he did call him for one season, but he's not exactly an older guy. I think that's something that's been lost to the sauce, so to speak. I think it's sort of an underrated point or under-discussed point. And it's hard to quantify, does that mean what that means in wins? But in terms of just relying on someone who's been there and done that, I think that was a mistake. And I just feel like this staff right now is kind of swimming upstream. They're trying to figure it out after 7 games. And I still, though, with their schedule being very favorable, we knew this to start the season, the second half would be favorable. And because we didn't think these teams would be all that good, and they're not, other than Dallas and the Chargers. So they're going to have a chance to, I don't say turn it around, Marc, but they'll have a chance to put some wins up there.
Even if they're in sell mode, I mean, already giving away a guy like Zach Ertz, for instance, they got a good return in terms of a pick and also getting a corner in that deal. Their backup quarterback is now back with the New York Jets. Even as sellers, do you think they could push for a wild card or turning it around?
Well, Marc, if you just look at it, and there probably will be more players moved by Tuesday's deadline at 4 p.m. Eastern, but nevertheless, Dallas Goedert is a guy that the staff loves, front office loves. They have a good offensive line. They've got Devontae Smith. Jalen Rager needs to get the ball more. Quez Watkins looks like a guy who's underutilized, who's done a nice job. Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott, particularly Kenny Gainwell, will take over for Miles Sanders until he comes back from his ankle and foot injury, or whatever it is. It's definitely an ankle injury, but they listed 2 things on the injury report. Their offense should be way better than it is. I know people want to blame Jalen Hurts, and I get it. He deserves some of the blame. The play calling needs to be better. But there's a lot of talent on offense, which has been underutilized. Now, I think they've really underachieved on offense. So I'd pick them to be a 7 or 8 win team. It's still very possible with 10 games left for them to win 5 out of those 10 to go 500 over the last 10. Absolutely, they could.
Okay. Any other names out there you think that could be moved come the trade deadline?
Well, look, it's not hard. Jeff and I have been talking about Andre Dillard. We reported that the Eagles were not interested in dealing him to start the season, though there are teams that had called. I personally believe that a 3 would get it done. I felt like that for 4 months. Dillard certainly has looked good when he started. And that is why, by the way, Marc, if the Eagles GM Howie Roseman takes less than a 3 for him, I think it would be a mistake. Personally, I would wait till March. If you don't get over these next 5 days, at least a third. And then here's the other thing, which they're learning through the Zach Ertz trade. Not that they didn't know this, but there's a realistic chance that pick for Ertz, which is a 5th rounder, could be the 32nd pick of the 5th round. So that's the thing you have to balance. I remember talking to the Raiders when they did the Khalil Mack trade in 2018. They didn't think Khalil Mack was 2019, whatever it was, but they didn't think that it was 2019. They didn't think the Bears would be a division winner. They thought they'd be bad. And that's the gamble you take. I know it's only a 5th round pick, but you want to make sure you trade him to a team that you get good value to. Now, 3rd would be great for Dillard. Maybe I'm saying pie in the sky, but left tackles, Mark, talking to people around the league, it's a position that is just hard to find. And Dillard has put some good tape together as a pass protector.
Mm-hmm. No, he certainly has. A couple more for you in the football world, because I'm going to ask you about basketball to round things out.
Sure.
When it comes to not just trade deadline, but also a guy like Deshaun Watson, how does that whole fiasco end? Where does that end? Does he end with the Dolphins? Does it end this year? Where does it end?
Yeah, look, it's complicated. It's not a secret that the Panthers, the Eagles, and the Dolphins have been in it on and off since March. And I could tell you, if Watson did not have the legal issues, it would have been a minimum of, I think Denver would have been in it, and other teams pretty hard. The Eagles certainly would have been giving up they would have been willing to do it pretty much anything like these other teams would, but you got the legal issues, which complicates it to move this forward. How does it end? I can't imagine. I know the Dolphins are been the favorite. I've known that for months, but, and I think most people who cover this story know this, but the question is, if you're the Dolphins, what assurances do you have? Most people who follow the situation know it eventually may not happen this season, but next season, Deshaun Watson will get a suspension out of this if the league feels there's credible information to say that he embarrassed the league, via the personal conduct policy. You don't have to be charged with a crime. We know that. Mm-hmm. We've seen players not get charged and be suspended. Whether this is a 6 or 8 game suspension, we'll see, maybe next year. But that's not the big thing, because when you trade for Deshaun Watson, who's a young quarterback, it's never about 1 year. It's about so many years to have him. You got to see if he's going to be going to jail. Is he charged? How long are you going to have him for? You need these questions answered.
Sure.
That's what makes it tough. But it's kind of funny. Those of us who cover the Miami end of it know how badly they've wanted Deshaun Watson, and they can never deny any report because the information that they're not going to deny it. It's just like the Eagles have never come out and said they're not interested in Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. Or the Panthers. There's been reporting on the Panthers that the Panthers are out. I think my buddy Chris Mortensen, who I used to work with at ESPN, put a story out over the weekend that the Eagles were out. But the fact of the matter is, these teams have been in. Mm-hmm. They've never not really been in. They've been monitoring at the very least. It's complicated. To move this along here, it's complicated. The Eagles don't know who their starter is going to be next year. Right now, it's Jalen Hurts, obviously, who's a starter for now. We'll see how he can finish the season. The key for him is to make it hard, not only the coaching staff, but the front office to move away from him, where if you're Jalen Hurts and you're a supporter of his, you want him to be in the conversation to be the starter next season.
All right, real quick, what would it take for Gardner Minshew to be the starting quarterback at any point this season?
It would have to be, okay, they're 2-5, right?
Right.
There's a term that personnel people call, it's called evaluation mode. Though I think we're getting towards that at certain positions. Obviously, linebacker would be one, where I think they're in some sort of a transition with 7 linebackers, so still trying to figure it out. But I think it would have to be really, not only really bad. Let's say at Thanksgiving, they're how many games they play. Let's say they're 3-9, 3-10. Okay. Okay, you've seen enough of Hurts. If it looks as bad as it does now, where you're not seeing enough good, you might as well look at. I know Minshew, by the way, is under contract for next year. That'll be the final of his rookie deal. You might as well take a look at Minshew. That to me would have to take something pretty bad for them to move to Minshew.
All right, and last thing for you, Ben Simmons plays for the Sixers, doesn't ever play for the Sixers, gets traded. How does that end?
I think he'll wind up getting traded. I do. And I'm a big Daryl Morey fan. I do respect what he'd said, that he went on the Fanatic, and I was kind of shocked that he went on the record and spilled the beans like he did. You don't really usually see that with the guys on trade block, but
Gauntlet dropped.
What's that?
Gauntlet dropped.
Yeah, no, he said it. Look, we'll be in it for the long haul. Exactly, Mark? He's not going to let Simmons and his agent, was it Rich Paul?
Yeah.
Get leverage. He's getting the leverage. They're handling the supposed challenges Ben has off the field, being ready to practice and play all that stuff the right way. It's sensitive. I understand that. But the fact of the matter is, as much as now, it has not been a distraction yet. the team's 2-2 as you and I speak here, but I didn't think they'd beat the Knicks anyway. I thought that I just thought that they came in probably a little tired, and I think they're still going to be a high 40s, 47, 48 win team. They lack someone who could put the ball on the floor other than Harris. That's something that they're going to have to get, whether it's in the draft next year or in the Simmons trade, whenever it gets done. And it'll eventually get done because he can't play here. He's not good for the city. He knows it. We all know it. It's a shame. It is what it is. It's sad, but you know what? If they can get a big time scorer and not get a role player like the GM said, and if they could get a big time scorer who is a difference maker, here we go.
There we go. Adam Kaplan, Inside the Birds podcast. Make sure you check out him, Jeff Mosher, the pregame show across all social media platforms as well. New episode drops today on this fine Thursday. Adam, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you.
My thanks to Adam Kaplan from Inside the Birds podcast. Make sure you check out InsideTheBirds.com as well for all your latest Eagles conversation and news. New episode dropping right now, as a matter of fact. So make sure you guys check that out. Of course, when you're done listening to this program. Thanks for Adam Kaplan joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line. I was going to save this for the morning rush, but I got some lighthearted topics I want to get into with that. But I want to get into this now. Ben Simmons. Let me say this. If something is seriously wrong, I wish him nothing but the best. I'm obviously not a horrible person, and if that's the case, then hey man, more power to you. If that is also the case, what the hell is wrong with your team? What is wrong with your camp? Because it appears to me they have done a horrible job representing you and advising you and leaking information out. I'll jump to the conclusion that it's his camp leaking info to Brian Windhorst, for instance, because if this has been a mental health issue, even dating back to last year because of what's going on with his in his personal life, with his sister and his their half brother, who you've seen around Philadelphia, by the way, there's some really unfortunate, horrible things going on within his own family that has happened actually, and if that's getting to him, I think if he came out and said that, or if it was leaked out to even be a possibility, not just speculated, but like leaked out, like a source says this is really the problem. And I heard Ramona Shelbourne on ESPN yesterday, and I think Allie LaForce said this the other night as well during the broadcast, that Ben Simmons is working with mental health experts, mental health professionals. This has been going on since the summer. And he just recently also started doing individual drills with the team. First off, from a basketball standpoint, love hearing that he's doing the individual drills. That's great. As we've acknowledged, it's not really the most welcoming thing to bring Ben Simmons back at this point, but it's for the best of the team. It's what's best for the team. But Ben Simmons in this mental health issue that's come up now. If you're in his camp, how is the only thing that's been leaked about how he doesn't want to play in Philadelphia anymore? Whether that's because he doesn't want to play for Joel Embiid, which has been leaked specifically, that he's not having his teammates come out to Los Angeles, which has been confirmed by Joel Embiid, right? And that's already been leaked out by by his people as well. Why did when Doc Rivers flipped his lid, supposedly, at the meeting in Chicago, saying it's in his bleeping contract to play, why didn't it get leaked then? Why did it get leaked that Ben Simmons is going through something personal? Hey, look, you don't even have to tell me mental health reasons. You could have said, even going back to last year, it would have helped explain why he didn't look like he was present mentally. If people are coming now because mental health has come out in this conversation, the subject has been brought up. People are now saying, oh, how dare you, right? Some guy came at me yesterday. If you were really compassionate, you wouldn't say this, what you're saying about Ben. And I'm like, I think I'm allowed to ask the question, with all the things that were churned out into the media machine, into the media rotation, why wasn't a single one of them up until when he started losing money? How come the personal stuff was never mentioned? Guys, Ben has a lot going on right now. He just, personal stuff, he can't come to camp, right? He would have never been fined. Anything. Personal reasons. Can't come. Okay. I'd love to hear what those personal reasons are. If you don't want to get specific, just tell us that they're personal reasons. Lane Johnson started down the road of personal reasons. And you know what I did? Nothing. I said, Lane, more power to you. Good luck to you. Personal reason. You tell me a personal reason. I'm the type of person that goes, hey, you do you, man. Hey, God bless you. That's what I say. But if everything else leaks out about money, about not playing with Joel Embiid, about not wanting to play in front of Philadelphia fans, well, I'm going to be a little skeptical of the reasons here. And if all the stuff that came out was, I don't want to play in Philadelphia, and none of it was, I just can't play right now, then I'd be a little bit more understanding. I'd be a little bit more patient, I guess. But all that's been talked about is wanting to be traded. So let's say that Ben got traded before camp started. Are there no mental issues there? Would being traded alleviate him from all the stress? Is that what we're to believe? Here's what I'll say in closing on the Ben Simmons issue. Once again, if all this is legit, if we hear from Ben and he talks about all the stuff he's been going through, whatever it might be, hey, man, more power to you. But I think a lot of people are going to meet this with a lot of skepticism when they consider the timing of everything and all the information that has come out. If Ben really had been meeting with mental health professionals in the summer, and that even a smidgen of that wasn't leaked, while everything else about what a terrible teammate he is and this coward and he doesn't want to play with Joe and he doesn't want to face Philadelphia, all that stuff would be avoided if something came out where somebody said, you got to be careful with Ben because there's something personal going on that he just can't get into. I as a decent human being would have went, oh, wow, that would explain why he's not mentally there in the playoffs, why he doesn't want to play, why he doesn't want to be around anybody. He's staying in his safe haven right now. That would explain. And also, the pictures that he's posted of his personal life on social media, if I'm having a personal issue, I'm closed off, man. I ain't doing anything. And that's why, hey, look, it's not just a Ben Simmons thing. It's an everybody thing. A lot of people want to post their personal life on social media, making it feel like everything's great when it's not. That's why some people use social media. I just look forward to hearing from Ben. In closing, that's what I look forward to hearing. I want to hear from Ben Simmons. Let's hear it from him. I want the explanation. If it is a personal thing, it's his right to not go into detail. He's still a human being. But man, it's just very suspicious, the timing of everything. And again, if you're his camp, how do you not let something out like that? Like, just, again, not specifically, but personal reasons. Instead, everything is, he hates playing with Joel Embiid, he hates playing in Philly, he doesn't want to face the crowd, he wants to be traded. So a trade is going to be the cure-all to all this? I can't say I've ever, that's crazy. That's nuts. But the situation, of course. So look forward to hearing from Ben. Thanks once again to Adam Kaplan joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line here. Let me tell you about the great people of Rothman Orthopaedics. When you have an orthopedic issue, you need a physician who eats, sleeps, and breathes orthopedics. You need an exceptionally specialized Rothman Orthopaedics physician. They not only specialize in orthopedics, but each of their physicians only focuses in on one area of the body, which means you can have the confidence to get past the pain and be what you were. Visit them in one of their 30-plus locations in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, including 4 orthopedic-only urgent cares. Learn more at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. BetQL, used it last night for a little World Series action. Did some research at BetQL, and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and take that over. The over hit in the World Series last night. Well, how would you like to take advantage of your sports book? You need to download a BetQL app. That's what you should do. It's the only app where you'll need smart bets, where you'll make smart bets. The Best Bets computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports, and they give you the reasoning behind why you should place the bet. Their model covers everything from point spreads, over-unders, player props as well. If you don't want to use the model and prefer to do your own research, BetQL has all the necessary tools for your betting research needs. Everything from sharp data, line movement, team summaries, lineups, injury, breaking news, all that. They even have a leaderboard for you to track your own success. You can head to the App Store right now or Google Play Store to download the BetQL app. How about steak in Maine? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, heart of Northeast Maryland. This place is fantastic. 2-pound tomahawk steak, pair it with a fine Pinot Noir. It is fantastic. From Cavada Cellars Wines, from their family to your family. It's just a wonderful wine pairing. This place was voted number one place for steaks in America by the Food Network and the Travel Channel, ladies and gentlemen. So I think they know a thing or two about steaks. And they also have a great variety in this one place. It's one-stop shopping for whatever you like. Nice steakhouse. You could eat in their steakhouse. Casual bar and patio. They got that right there at the ready. Party table in the back. Fantastic. Steak and Maine has it all. Open every day for lunch, dinner, and Sunday brunch as well. Steak and Maine in the heart of Northeast Maryland, voted number one place for steaks in America by the Food Channel and the Travel Channel as well. Check it out for yourself. Go to steakandmaine.com. How about our friends over there at WinView? WinView is the only game where fans can take on other fans and end the debate once and for all. Who's the biggest sports fan? You've had those friends and family who think they know everything. You can play them in a WinView contest. Got a little fantasy football going on tonight? Well, guess what? You don't like what your team's doing? You know what you can do? You can make a little WinView challenge to that person in your fantasy league, and next thing you know, you might be able to win back some of your money. That's what WinView is great for. They make people that talk the talk and act like they know so much about sports see if they can walk the walk. You can also break up the monotony of family dinners and get-togethers. Play a quarter of Thursday Night Football tonight and have yourself a good time. Whether you're tracking the games on Sunday or tonight or Monday, for instance, or the World Series itself, you can have fun with a WinView contest. Not a sports book, not daily fantasy. It's a social gaming app where you can win real money prizes for making predictions on the games you love. So download the WinView app right now. And how about our friends at PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience. Let's jump in to our social media. Check in brought to you at Steak and Maine and steakandmaine.com. A lot of comments flying around here. A lot of stuff to get into here. Let's see. First off, Dak. Good morning, Dak. The Painted Lines. Hello, the Painted Lines. Good morning to you as well. Kevin, good morning, Farzy and everybody. Good morning, Kevin. Peter, what's poppin'? Mally, Peter again. Big Flyers win, baby. Dan Schwartz, Flower Boy, good morning. I hereby, if you're getting married in the let's see, how many days left? 3 days left in October. If you're getting married this month, let's see. No, well, who gets married? No. What? It's Thursday? Tomorrow, Friday or Saturday. If that's the deal, you should have Siriannis. That's what you should have. You shouldn't have flower girls, flower boys. You should just have Siriannis. Oh, the Siriannis coming down the aisle. Oh, they're so cute. Anyway, thank you, Dan. Let's see. Peter, Big Flyers win. Help me, Flyers. You're my only hope. It's just too funny. Just look at that. Look how happy they are. You know what? I told PJ this earlier. But Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford there, that's the picture I'm showing for the people listening on the podcast. One of the funniest things I saw, how do I phrase this? Well, I mean, people understand, you guys understand social media, so I don't need to phrase it anyway. When Carrie Fisher died, there was a couple of memes that were going around, and one of them said, Carrie Fisher went out the way we all should, letting people know that you had relations. That's how I'll say it. That you had relations with Harrison Ford in his prime. That's how you go out. There you go. And we're all better people. Let's see. April, good morning, everybody. Good morning, April. I've decided I want to be a daisy today. That's nice, April. Be a daisy. Peter, I loved seeing the puck in the crowd. Is that from the Fox coverage of hockey back in the day? T-Bro, I believe GJ's defensive scheme is charm and soft. Very much so. Outer Banks meet up at Lucky 12 at Nags Head. I've heard great things about Nags Head. You know, all this stuff is like so new to me because I told you before, and this is not a complaint. We need to go on vacation. We went on 2 vacations when I was a kid. We went to the Poconos once when I was, I think in 3rd grade, and then we went to the shore once for a week down Jersey Shore in Ocean City. I think the summer 8th grade going into high school, 8th grade going to freshman year of high school. So like all these other things are totally new to Nags Head. I always forget where that is, but Outer Banks, yeah. Screenshot the number to remember the location. There you go, Dan. April was one last middle finger from Carson. Very true. Peter, it sounds like the teacher in Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. T-Bro, we are all fertilizer. We all fertilize. Sorry. Why did you say that poop, Ron? All right. I see what you're doing, T-Bro. We are all fertilizer. Why did you say that poop, Ron? Poop, poopy. You're my hero, Ron. Very nice. I hope I captured the cadence of Chris Barnell. Peter, smash that like button, peeps. April, the Italian hands are flying today. Are they over? Am I too much? I apologize. Mi scusi. PJ, I identify as a ficus. Can I be an eagle now? So many hands flying. Farzy is gonna start sweating. Peter, Philly media equals Roundup. Kill anything that grows. I was never allowed to use Roundup as a landscaper, because everywhere I landscaped they had well water, so it was like I couldn't do that because it might get in my water. There you go. You're saying you can start. GJ will get fired, not Sirianni. I mean, there's going to be a sacrificial lamb at some point. April Dacky, she agrees. They don't want a head coach; they want a puppet. Exactly. April, listen to Sirianni talk is the audio equivalent of padding your own paper that is at least 2 pages short of the minimum requirement, just word vomit everywhere. That's pretty, I would say that's a pretty good description. Let's see. Playoffs. Larry? Impractical Joker is, it's weird. For someone that, like, and we'll do Farzy in the field again, but as someone who's done that bit a lot, that man on the street bit, not in the same way that Impractical Jokers does. Like, I couldn't imagine doing Impractical Jokers because the thing if you had to say, like, even if it's something fun and great, there's one thing that's bad about it. And if there's one thing I hate about doing Farzy in the field, it's bothering people. It's like people are out having their day and I'm just like, camera in their face. And, so most of the time people are like, oh yeah, cool. And they want to perform, it's like callers in radio. They want to perform. It's not that they want to necessarily listen. They want to perform. So get a lot of those people in doing that. But I'll do that again. I'll bother the hell out of some people. That'll be fun. Thank you, Marc. Exactly. Once he started to lose money, great observation. People gave acknowledgement at that part. Like, to me, like, this all comes down to, it comes down to his team more so than it does Ben Simmons. If he's going through something like this, how are you not, as an agent, going to the Sixers and saying, look, he's got a lot of stuff going on, man. It's some crazy stuff about his family, personal stuff. And then the Sixers are, I think, obligated legally to not do anything. But instead, the Sixers hit him with a fine. And then he showed up. And by the way, didn't even tell his management. So maybe he's pissed at his management. I don't know. Don't matter. Sixers have Simmons, not Embiid's going to miss a ton of games. You saw it the other night. The organization failed somehow. They should have had him get that surgery. The meniscus surgery. Yeah. Farzy in the field, Outer Banks. There you go, April. It's not a bad idea. Connor says, have you watered or fertilized? Both, I think. Venus flytrap. That's a good thing to. Oh, Larry is a Impractical Jokers reference. I'm sorry, T-bro. Miss Scusi. Joel could barely walk. You know what? The Sixers should tank this year. Just tank and get the high draft pick. That'll be fun. We'll get another Markel Fultz. That'll be a great time. Thank you. Mally, thanks for pointing that out. I meant to mention this. The audio on the Adam Kaplan interview. So we had a last minute switch. We were going to do it on, so I use StreamYard for the show and my interviews. And I hit up Adam Kaplan for StreamYard and we're talking. And there was this like popcorn sound. It sounded like that the entire time. And whenever he talked, so it was weird. We tried fixing it. It couldn't work. He's like, I never have this problem with Zoom. Let's do Zoom. I honestly have not done a Zoom call in 5 or 6 months. Probably 6 months. So I click over to Zoom, send him an invite. We do the interview. And I think what I did was, I don't think I told the computer to hear my microphone. I think I did the audio through my computer. Like, in other words, the computer's microphone is what was catching me, not my actual nice microphone. Damn it. Anyway, so thank you for definitely my fault. That's my responsibility. That's on me. That's not PJ. That's all on me. I got to do a better job putting my mic in a better position to be heard by my computer. All right. Thanks everyone that checked in our social media check. I brought you by StakeAmain at StakeAmain.com. Let's move into our morning rush, brought to you by Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. Let me just give you the goods right out of the gate. Once again, Flyers, they get the win over the Oilers, 5-3. Cam Atkinson, 2 goals. Coots had a goal. Giroux had a goal to get things started for the Flyers last night. Carter Hart, 34 saves. Canucks, they play tonight. They play the Canucks tonight, 10 o'clock. Quick turnaround for the Fly guys. Sixers in action tonight against the Pistons, 7 o'clock tip-off. Astros, even the World Series, it's 1 game apiece. They win 7-2. Ladies and gentlemen, the over-under was 8.5. 8.5, 9. I won. There we go. Money. Packers, Cardinals tonight, Thursday night football. So that's what you got right there in your morning rush. As promised, I wanted you guys to hear from Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce on people buying in to Nick Sirianni and this coaching staff.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you don't. Yeah, I do. I think you don't really have a choice. I mean, if you want to be a good team, you're in it together. That's what being on a team is about. Okay. And, I think that we have good leadership here. If guys weren't buying in, that'd be a direct reflection of leadership, in my opinion. And I think we have good players here, good people, good coaches. We're not, producing the way we need to right now. It's not showing up on the field the way it needs to. But, the only way we're going to get better is by sticking together and continuing to fight. So
there you go. Keep fighting, fella. Keep bringing it. That's what we all want to hear. I love the beginning. Let me just. This is the real answer. I'll just give you the real answer. Here it is.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you don't. Yeah, I do. I think you don't really have a choice. I mean,
all right, that right there is really all I needed to hear. Through that, I mean, I interpret as looking for the right words to say. Like, yeah, right. I do. You don't really have a choice. So that's not a glowing endorsement is what I'm trying to say about people buying in. They're probably looking at each other being like, we're looking at each other being like, flowers? Okay. And you know what? Even to go down further that road, even to go down the road further of like, why am I wrong when I have these arguments with myself before I come up with my final opinion? I was like, all right, you know what? Fred Shero, Flyers back-to-back Stanley Cup champion coach in the 70s. Walk today and win today and you walk forever, whatever it was, win today and you walk together forever. If I saw that on the chalkboard, would I be inspired or would I be like, this idiot? And I'm like, no, I'd be inspired. That's an inspiring thing. Like, especially right before a Stanley Cup. Yeah, that makes me want to go out. I want to walk together forever. Let's party. And those guys are still doing it 40 years later. Let's see here. What else I got? Jason Kelce. Oh, yeah, Jason Kelce on the doubling down message from Nick Sirianni.
I mean, that's what you do. I mean, that's what every coach does. You don't come in and say, oh, well, hey, guys, we're not going to double down this week. This week, we're not going to try and get better. We're not going to focus on our mistakes. We're not going to try and improve on what we did last week. You don't do that. I mean, the doubling down is just, we know that this is what works. We know that this is how we're going to be successful, is by improving all of these things, is by continuing to iron out mistakes. We're the highest penalized team in the NFL through the first 5 weeks. The last 2 weeks, we've eliminated a lot of those mistakes. We're starting to adapt offensively and do some things that are putting us in good situations. And, offensive line-wise, guys who are young and playing their first games have gotten better each and every week. I mean, these are the things that we're doubling down on, the fundamentals, the things that we know are going to correlate to improve play. Now, I know the production's not there. I know that the wins aren't there. Believe me, I know that they're not there, and it's frustrating. But the only way they're ever going to get there is if you can keep working on it, if you keep going back out there and earn it. And, that's what we're trying to do. And that's what coach's message is.
My decree, if I am king of the world, controller of the universe, my decree is that Jason Kelce is the only member of the Philadelphia Eagles that can address the media. That's it. Oh, and maybe Fletcher Cox, just because he's pissed off, and that'll always add to a good soundbite. But for the most part, king of the world, ruler of the universe, controller of the universe, I decree that Jason Kelce is the only Eagle that's allowed to address the media. And then finally, this was a big point of confusion during the game against the Raiders because Kenny Albert had no idea what the hell was going on the field, and I think he had bad information from the truck when he said Jason Kelce removed his helmet. He can't or alluded to Jason Kelce removing his helmet. That's not at all what happened. His helmet was removed for him when Littleton dove on his head, and that pissed off Jason Kelce. So Jason Kelce was asked what led to that frustrating moment in the game against the Raiders, and Jason Kelce answered it only as Jason Kelce can.
My helmet got knocked off. and then the guy kind of hits me in the balls. So they always get the second guy. So I just got to be smarter. You know, I didn't think I did anything that egregious, but whatever. There's a lot of frustration up until that point.
I love a whatever thrown in there. But the guy came at me on Twitter the other day during that play, and I was like, that's a horrible job by the crew on the broadcast, because they didn't say what happened to Jason Kelce. They didn't even acknowledge that he got hit in the junk. So the guy comes at me and he's just like, he said something like, oh, it sounds like a lot of crying. And I was like, you ever get hit in the balls, man? Doesn't make you feel good. Find the lie, as they say. Find the lie. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Marc Farzetta here at the Steven Singer Studio. Jim Hyden produced the program. This is a Buzz Sports Entertainment production. We got a Football Friday coming up. Eagles taking on the Lions. So that's a win. Yeah. All right. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.